we're kind of now getting into this groove that we're really utilizing the digital world to keep running our businesses, even if our businesses are, very face fronting, brick and mortar. So emailers are one of the best ways that you can get right into their phone, right as they're sitting at home or at work. So it's always been important, but I think right now it is something that you really need to make sure that you're keeping up on and utilizing, because your customers do want to hear from you. Your customers right now are really craving that connection of what life normally was 6 months ago. Those small businesses that they got to interact with every day that they've grown to love, they still want to hear from you, especially now. And another benefit to the digital world, to emailers, to Instagram lives, social media is, when you think about the fact that before, especially if you were a brick and mortar, customer facing business, there's only so much of you a day that could deal with customers and that could create those relationships. Well, now with a push of a button, and I mean, we could before, but we really have to focus on that now. We really have to utilize those tools. You can be in contact with all of your customers, and you can be very personal with them, and they can all feel like, this email or this Instagram live is for them. And it actually gives you more time back into your day. I think when people launch brands sometimes, especially in design, they have this idea in their mind, it's going to be very high end, it's going to be very nice, and I had to quickly reevaluate and go, wait a minute, no, what is my brand? If my brand's going to survive right now, my brand has to be accessible, it has to be attainable, it has to be for the masses. It can't just be a super designing niche brand. So I quickly pivoted and I changed the direction of what my brand was going to be, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad that's what happened. If you can give your customer something without asking for anything in return, and that's what we felt like we needed to do, those customers will be yours forever. I think that it's another big responsibility of us as small business owners, is just to make sure that we're good business owners too, and that we're trying to help the society that helps us. And as a small business, societies do help us, because that's how we make it. One of our measurements of success is traffic, driving traffic to our site. We used to only do emailers, I think, twice a week. Now we're doing them daily. And then on Friday, it's a recap of the week of all the emails together. So yeah, right now our measure of success is traffic and the amount of eyes that are reading the articles on our site and are sharing those. And those are the analytics we look at the most right now. And emailers and online tools are the biggest drivers of that. I would say my biggest takeaway is to not be afraid to either A, try something new, or B, well, I don't want to put it this way, try something new, or B, stop trying. Sometimes you have to let go. Sometimes the thing that you're doing, it's not working for a reason. Again, it's not bad that you did that, because you learned from that. I always say failures are not failures. Failures are just lessons. So when this hit, a lot of the building industry freaked out and they're like, oh God, cancel all the projects, which now they're like, oh God, the housing market's booming, we should have done that. So we instantly, literally within a week, had 80% of our projects cancel or postpone indefinitely. So I had to quickly decide where to pivot. So I pivoted most of my designers into now just creating more content for my media division, for my website, for social media. And that has actually, I wouldn't say it's filled that hole completely, but it's definitely made it to where it doesn't sting as bad. Learn to let it go. Don't dwell on things. Don't allow yourself to be stressed out over. I mean, it's hard to say. Don't let yourself be stressed out about anything. But stress, when you allow yourself to get stressed out over things, you start making the wrong decisions. And I would say, again, the biggest lesson I've learned that helps me now is being willing to pivot, being willing to maybe let something go that you thought was super important. Often it's not just about the business owner pivoting. It's about being having the right people on board that are there for you and are ready to do whatever it takes to make sure your business thrives. Because ultimately, when your business thrives, everyone thrives. And also, I think a big lesson is I used to always try to do everything on my own. And as a small business owner, you wear so many hats. You get into that mindset of it's just easier to do it myself than it is to, train somebody else how to do it. They're just going to mess it up. It's just quicker and easier to do it myself. And by the time you get to the end of your day and you've said that 100 times, you've exhausted yourself. It always starts out as, oh, it's just one little thing. It's just easier to do it myself. And then by the end of the day, you're like, wait, no, I just did everything. So a lesson I have learned is you've got to be able to let things go and let the people that you've hired, that you trust, do them as well, because you can't do everything. And if you try to do everything, you're going to wear yourself out. You're going to burn out, and nothing will save you then. So I had to quickly decide, all right, where am I going to make hard decisions that ultimately, though, are going to ensure the survival of the brand? And those are some of the hardest decisions of your life. But once you make that first one, they get much easier after that, because you realize, all right, closing this store or getting rid of this division, that was my baby. I worked so hard on it. You get very personally attached, because as a small business owner, your small business really is your baby. It's your kid. You put everything into it. So the hardest decisions to make sometimes are the ones where you're letting go. So yeah, I would say the biggest lesson I learned was the hard decisions can be hard, but often they're the best ones to make. Sometimes you got to trust your gut. It's the businesses that do things different and aren't afraid of a little risk. I was so poor, I had nothing to lose. I'm like, it's not like I had a lot of money in homes and family, I had nothing to lose. And sometimes you just have to look at some business decisions as, you know what, I have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. This too shall pass. Your business may not be the same coming out of this as it was going in it, but just because it's not the same doesn't mean it's still not good or better. Again, my biggest advice is be willing to look at something in a new way. Be willing to try new things, because unfortunately right now, doing things the same way we've always done them may not work. Stay strong, keep going, it'll work out. It will. There's been times in the last few months we all thought the world was going to end, but it's not. The world might look a little different, but at the end of the day, it always works out and it'll be better. Yeah, so stay strong, stay positive. Yeah, think about the things that could go wrong, but don't dwell on them.
Anyone can have a great idea. Not everyone has the guts or the grit to make it happen. But you do. And now you've got to figure out how to get the world as excited about your idea as you are. But you don't have time to make sense of it all. At Constant Contact, that's what we do. And it's why we're expanding, big time, into a full-service online platform for all things marketing. Need an awesome-looking website with e-commerce built in? Now, we've got a tool for that. Trying to find new customers? We've got a tool for that, too. We'll help you grow your audience, reach your social media goals, and a whole lot more. And we've still got the best email marketing tool out there. That'll never change. Plus, unlike other companies who leave you to figure it out on your own, we've got hundreds of marketing advisors who are just a call or chat away to help when you get stuck. And every day, our team is working hard to add more features and tools to help your ideas succeed. With Constant Contact, you've got a game plan, because you've got what it takes. You've got this. You've got us.